to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we are here to rank our villains of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes. So, guys, we are going to be going over all the main villains on the show. We're going to be ranking these. There's only basically about 10 villains. There could be little minor ones here and there, but
Some of these are minor ones.
A couple of them are, but there are some in here that had some pretty big impacts, and these are ones that we basically remember that had some big dealings in the series. So we will go over some of who they are if you guys have forgotten or don't remember. But we're going to start with worst to first, basically.
And our lists are not different, so this will be cool because we get to kind of explain what our thoughts are as to why they're different.
You said they're not different.
I said they are different.
Oh, okay.
I think I said they are different.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Someone will probably correct me if that was different.
So,
but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
We do not have the same list.
No,
Let's
we don't.
do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So
10.
Number 10 is Martha from season 4. So, guys,
That's yours.
Well, that's Martha. Yeah, I had Martha for season 4.
I had Martha from season 4.
Yeah. So, in season 4, in the second half, Morgan and his group were trying to do good and everything, and Martha believed that people were beyond redemption and only found true peace once they turned, and she was a primary antagonist once again in the second half, and she ended up dying and being bit, but it was because of a flashback of her where, it was the start of the apocalypse and she needed help and no one would help her. And she just thought humans were just pieces of crap. So the way that they did it, how she tried to be, to kill our group, it was just stupid.
Yeah,
it was just terrible.
This is going to be difficult, first of all, because you're reading as you go off of your list what the villain is.
I'll mention it on each one. Yeah,
all right. So, Martha, right?
Yeah,
I love the story. Like, what happened to her, I love how they did that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's one woman. And nothing against women. If it was one man, I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's one person.
Yeah. Over a radio.
You're exactly
messing with truck stops.
Exactly.
Like it was just.
Don't get me wrong.
Terrible.
One person can do some damage, okay?
Right.
But not in this world, and not with how many survivors did we have? And it's not just our group, guys.
Yeah.
Like, she just didn't have that scary villain factor. And to be honest with you, I don't think too many villains in Fear the Walking Dead have had that.
Not too many. Too many. And, nothing against the actress who played it. Of course, this has nothing to do with the actress. This is how the show made the character. The character was terrible. Mm-hmm. And it did no justice for our group in the second half of season 4. It was nothing. It was just dull. Absolutely dull.
It was dull.
And season 4 was one of the turning points of a lot of fans with Fear the Walking Dead. It was not a good season at all.
No.
Bad. But as you guys know, we've stuck with it. We're going to, and they've pulled themselves out of it from season 4. I'll tell you that much. My God. So
I like your little rant there.
Yeah, I had to do it.
All right, so 9.
Let's go number 9. I'll have you go first.
I almost want to reevaluate some of mine as I read yours, but that's not the point here. I went with Dakota.
Dakota. Yep. So from season 6, guys, as you guys know, Dakota, the daughter of Virginia, she was very young and impressionable, but her outlook on the world was just gone. She killed one of our main characters, John, and by the end, she decided to kill herself because she felt there was nowhere in the world for her to go.
Yeah.
So
guys, I put her at 9 because, again, it's one person. And I guess my whole thoughts on a villain, like, you have to be, look, she had the mindset of a villain.
Mm-hmm.
She was very, I don't know, crazy.
She was methodical.
Vindictive.
She did some stuff, man.
But at the end of the day, I don't know, grab a gun, shoot her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I hear you.
When I think of a villain, I think that they also have a supporting cast. Like, let me give you one, Negan. Right?
Yeah.
Like, how powerful was Negan? Mm-hmm. I mean, he had the mindset of being very powerful, but he also had a crew.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It wasn't just Negan by himself. He had a crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. My number 9 is Reed and Connor, who are also part of the Pirates back in season 2. So Reed and his friend Connor were 2 of the first villains the group encountered following their escape onto Victor's yacht. A member of the group called themselves the Pirates, and they appeared in season 2. So basically, this was part of when Alicia was talking with a guy named Jake, I believe it was, over the radio, and that's who he was part with. And the whole thing with the yacht, it was okay. They weren't really great villains. They made our group get into some shit and a little bit scared and everything, but nobody really died from it.
Yeah.
But eventually, I think Madison and Chris killed Reed, and then they presented a reanimated body to Connor because I think they were exchanging hostages. They pulled the hood off. Connor was dead, and then he attacked everybody else.
Yeah.
So it was pretty sick.
Yeah, so this is like when I'm looking at this one, I had them at 6, and that's why I kind of wanted to change my thing up here because they weren't too.
Yeah.
They weren't too powerful.
Yeah, they weren't too bad.
I don't know why I had them ranked high.
Yeah, that's all right.
Still, I'd keep Dakota at 9.
Yeah. So number 8, guys, I have Logan from season 5. He was the primary antagonist in the 5th season's second half, and he was a short-lived villain. He was part of Clayton's trucker thing, and he didn't feel like he wanted to do that anymore, so he eventually joined up with Virginia. And then he did lead our group to the oil fields. He gave them that. But then Virginia did kill him. And he was... I liked the character.
He had potential.
But...
That's the thing.
They kept him in more of a small villain type role, and led to his early demise.
Yeah.
But
I have... you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I have Celia.
So Celia, guys, is from season 2. She was pretty crazy. You could say she was kind of an alternate version of Herschel from The Walking Dead. She was a religious woman who believed that the undead should be saved, and she kept them locked up, believing the undead existed all along, and they still had some level of humanity left. That area in season 2 was crazy.
I enjoyed it. Did she cause Daniel to go nuts?
She was the one that caused Daniel to break.
So she was very obviously vindictive as well.
Yeah.
Like she had, and I think that's probably what a lot of these have. Like she was able to just make him go nuts.
Yeah, she didn't want to kill walkers; she wanted to kill humans, and eventually she did get killed. I think Madison, she tricked her and locked her in a cage with walkers.
Yeah,
and then Daniel ended up burning.
Yeah, I just don't think that she was that good of a villain.
Yeah, wasn't.
But again, that's another quick one.
Yeah,
right.
That's another quick
one.
one.
That one, Logan, another one that we're about to mention. Like these were very fast villains. We didn't really get too much of.
Yeah. So my number 7 was actually Celia. And that's my number 7.
Close.
Yeah. What's your 7?
My 7 is Troy.
Troy Otto.
Yeah, and actually, if I had to switch them, I'd put Troy at 6. No, I'd put Troy at 5. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'd move him past. I had the Pirates at 6, and I'll go over 5. But I would have moved him up higher.
Gotcha.
Troy was
awesome.
If you guys have watched our reviews, we actually were big fans of Troy.
Big fans.
The way his character was so methodical, he was very thorough. Like when he wanted to, I think if Troy had survived, I think he'd be good. We can go into that in a little bit. But like he was just, first of all, not a good person.
No, not a good person.
Not at first.
Him and Nick, really paired with each other because Nick was kind of off the walls as well back then in season 3. He was doing the blood and guts trick. He was, they were in that one place where they were just taking drugs.
They both got high together.
They both got high. It was actually Nick who talked Troy into doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just he was a good character. He was very obsessed with Madison. He's always been obsessed with her. Not that he would.
That was awesome.
It was
because
awesome.
She could put this wild dog, right? Because that's what you could compare him to. He was a wild dog.
Yeah.
You could put him in check because he knew or she knew that this dude is obsessed with me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But this dude, that's the best, I think, terminology we could use for him. He was a wild dog. He did whatever he wanted, and he was reckless too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like when we first got introduced to him, here's a dude that is taking notes and experimenting with people on how fast they turn as walkers. So literally killing them and seeing how fast they turn and then taking notes on that.
Yeah.
That's badass.
It's badass. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So, number 6. Who do you got for number 6? Or you had the...
Again, I have the pirates. I would have moved them down actually to probably 7 or 8.
Yeah, I have Virginia from season 6 at number 6. A lot of people didn't like her. I actually liked her.
I hated her.
She, how it turned out in the end was very interesting with Dakota being her daughter, but she was very methodical. She didn't outright want to kill people, but she could if she had to. And the dynamic between her and Morgan, and then learning that Morgan's alive and dealing with our group, it was interesting. She was an interesting character. I actually did really enjoy Virginia quite a bit, and I think they could have done a little bit more with her. They could have made her a little bit more ruthless. Not to say all villains have to be ruthless, but she had some ruthless in her. There were little spots of her like just getting very angry and almost going rage mode, but then she'd calm herself down and do it in a more like, I'm smiling in your face, but I'm gonna screw you over in the background. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So,
I had Logan
for number 5,
right?
5.
Yeah, Logan.
Yep.
So I really liked Logan's character when we got introduced to him. Like, I think the first trailer he came on, I'm like, this dude's serious, and
we got excited because the actor played the character on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, but just that, like, and we're used to seeing like that, and then we see this badass, well, not badass, but like this fearful, trucker, right? Like, but no, I think that I think if it would have been just him as the villain, I think it would have been great. Like, I wish they would have continued on with him as the villain, and maybe even put him in Virginia's spot, like him be the villain and not Virginia. But it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, didn't work out. My number 5 was Melvin, Enos, and the Vultures from season 4. Now, the reason I have them at 5, they weren't really great villains, but they did contribute to 2 of the biggest character deaths in that season, and that's Madison and Nick. But Madison is not dead. But they were interesting. I mean, these were guys who just, they would sit outside in their little campers outside of a place and wait people out and then just take over their stuff. They wouldn't really kill you, but they would do crazy methodical things. Now, in the end of the stadium, they did unleash all those walkers to get them out, but they weren't as strong. I just have them at 5 just because of especially what happened with Nick and with Madison. So
yeah, I have them at 4.
Gotcha.
Are we going into 4?
Yep.
Or are we at 5? We're at 4.
You already did your 5. Yeah, we can go at 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I have them at 4.
Gotcha.
Which they had the numbers, right? And just the way that they came on the scene and pretty much used Madison's situation as hostage, right? Like, the fact that you have a community is what we're going to use against you. I think that was great. That, and they were able to deploy probably the biggest person I hate, Charlie.
Yeah. But when Alicia got her revenge on their asses in season 5, dude,
that was good. I didn't really like them, but yeah.
So my number 4 is actually Dakota. I loved what they did with her character, the dynamic of, a child, because everybody makes fun of, how children are just destroyed in these shows, but her character, man, just took a different nosedives. I mean, when she killed John, that was one of the reasons I have her at 4 for killing John. It was, you see the rage. You see somebody who has no remorse of what she just did. She may cry, but she had no remorse. I mean, even telling Morgan, she was like, he's floating down the river with a bullet in his chest. Like, God damn, girl.
Gosh, you make things sound so much better.
Don't I?
No,
yeah, that's why I have her there. But she was, I like the character.
I just think that she's could have easily been taken out.
Oh, for sure.
Not that strong of a villain.
Yeah, Virginia could have killed her if she wanted to, because she's getting too crazy. But it's her daughter; she wasn't going to do that. So, Number 3, if you want to go ahead.
Virginia.
Virginia, you had
Yeah.
Virginia at number 3. Nice.
Right, and I'm saying I hate her. No, I think that she. You could make an argument she's probably one of the more powerful, like numbers wise, because she had multiple communities and a lot of people protecting her and doing her power for her, or doing her will. Right. Yeah. I just think that she was also probably the most organized and one of the most intelligent as well, because she knew exactly the way she wanted to run these communities, and it was either her way or no way. Right. And
yeah, for sure. Mine is Proctor John. We really loved Proctor John, and
yes,
we can kind of go into you have them at number 2.
I have him at number 2.
Okay, so
because dude, he was.
We'll talk about him right now. So,
when he came on the scene, man, he was feared.
He was
feared.
He was short-lived, though. Unfortunately, short-lived, but we
could make an argument that he still lives.
Yes. He blew up the dam. I'm sorry, he didn't blow up the dam. Nick blew up the dam because Proctor John wanted to kill all of them. Nick, Madison, Alicia, and Nick was able to talk them out of it, let them go, so Nick blew up the dam. But
he was powerful.
Yeah, there's no word that he was ever killed, so he could still.
Yeah, this dude had someone. Weren't they patching him up or like
doing surgery
on his back?
Alicia helped with that.
No anesthesia.
No anesthesia.
He talks. He gets Alicia's trust, right, to be there with him.
Yeah.
But not to mention, like, he's got some dude doing surgery on him, and they're not trying to stab him, like literally stab him in the back, but they're not going to turn on him, right? And that's power.
That's power.
You're in a vulnerable situation and people are still protecting you.
Yeah.
And you're as evil as you are.
Yeah.
I just wish I would have seen more with him, and maybe that's why he's up there.
Yeah. So he was appearing in second half of season 3. He was part of a motorcycle gang called the Proctors. That's why he's Proctor John. And it was just it sucked. I mean, it was a short. I hate when they do short-lived villains like this, or characters, I should say, and you have no idea if they're alive or dead because you never saw it. Same thing like with Madison, you never saw it, but
he was connected.
Yeah, he was connected.
And I think where was he going? He was going to take Alicia somewhere with him.
Texas.
They
were going to go to Texas.
Yeah. And dude, I just wish we would have seen more of him.
Yeah.
Like I still feel someday where maybe we'll get him.
Yeah. So Proctor John was his number 2. My number 2 was Troy. We already talked about Troy. Yeah, Troy was badass.
He was. I just love him. When I think of Troy, like, was he a villain?
He was. His father. He was kind of a side villain with his dad, and then after his dad passed, he took on more the villainous role leading up to the dam explosion.
But his end, towards the end at least, he was maybe trying redemption.
He was trying.
Right? He was with Nick. I think him and Nick made an awesome pair.
Yeah.
You could make an argument that Nick was more destructive than Troy towards the end. But yeah, man.
But Troy brought the horde.
I see, and I just
he brought the horde to Brookjaw Ranch.
Okay.
Yeah, he brought that whole horde.
That's right, because if they were going to get the land, if he wasn't getting the land, no one was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he brought that horde.
But like I said, he was reckless.
He was reckless. Yeah. So Josh and I do agree with number 1, and that's Teddy.
Yeah, dude. And this is not because he's fresh in our mind. This dude literally, here's my thoughts. Powerful, and powerful from a mind F perspective.
Yes.
Like he was able to garner the respect and the demand of his followers. Like, this is a cult leader.
Yep.
And so mentally he's got it. And
he had the most powerful weapons on Earth.
He was able, you could make an argument, he was able to do the most damage of any of our villains in either Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. And guess what? Teddy's dead, and we're going to be seeing his impact in season 7.
Yeah.
After he's gone, his destruction is living on because of Teddy.
Yeah, he was also. I loved the episodes with him.
I know.
I wish we would.
I wish we would have gotten more. With Teddy. I think that would have been even more.
The whole Alicia and him episode. Dude, the guy grabbed nuts as a defense mechanism. like
Oh, I remember my reaction to that was insane.
that's the
It's
kind of like,
hilarious.
okay, you're not going to talk back to me, and if you do, I'm going to grab your nuts.
grabbing your
and you're
nuts.
going to shut up right then and there.
And he learned that. He learned that in prison. Yeah, it was the actor who played him was absolutely amazing. I love what they did with the character. I wish we would have gotten more, but with a character like that, with the weapons that he had, I don't think you could stretch it out for too long. Like
True.
A full season, not really.
Yeah, true.
You know?
I mean, and another thing about him is he wasn't your physical villain. Like he didn't use the physicality of it. Like it was all mental, and those are the most powerful.
Yeah, we didn't get to see, how Teddy, captures those people and embalms them. They must be the people that don't want to, become part of their crew. Now, the one person that is very interesting that they had an embalmed was a CRM soldier, but they could have maybe attacked one of the drop sites and grabbed her and just wanted to kill her and embalm her anyway for their cause. But it would be interesting to see how they did recruit people. We've always mentioned that in The Walking Dead of how Alpha recruited other Whisperers. You know what I mean?
I think they take them in their vulnerable positions.
Their vulnerable
right?
spots.
When they're
Same
the
thing with
most
Negan.
vulnerable. Exactly.
Yeah, same thing
And
with Negan.
that's what we've seen, all of them do. But Teddy was able to not just take them, but keep them.
Right.
Dude.
But the thing with Teddy, though, is he's always been that way. This was a man who was already a cult leader before the apocalypse happened. That's who John Sr. was trying to track down.
Mm-hmm.
So Teddy had this vision, this ideology, his whole life.
Yeah.
And now that the world is gone, bringing it into this dead world,
he
thrived on it.
intelligent too.
Yeah.
The scene where he took that dead body and people thought it was his mother.
Jesus
and it wasn't.
Christ.
Like he did that.
Mama!
Yeah. That was planned.
was planned.
Everything he did was planned.
Yep.
And when his plan didn't go his way, you saw his ruthlessness.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
one of the biggest one of the biggest, I think, corruptions that he did was with Dakota.
Oh, absolutely.
Dakota was all in.
Yeah.
Until she found out that he wasn't going to die. He was going to go to a bunker.
Till she found out that he was lying.
He needed her to turn the key.
Yeah.
So, guys, we hope you enjoyed the list. Let us know your list in the comments. We definitely will do this for The Walking Dead when The Walking Dead ends.
Now that is going to be good.
Because that's going to be even a longer list, guys, because they have had so many villains. There's been some side villains, some small villains in The Walking Dead, but we're going to do The Walking Dead.
It's going to be a while. Do you want to just give your number one?
No.
It's going to be a while. Come on.
No, not right now.
Well, it's not over, so we can't say.
Yeah. Definitely stay tuned for that. But let us know your top 10 Fear the Walking Dead villains in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for more from us. I am Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.